chaotic situation right now in Venezuela, with the release of kidnapped prisoners, political prisoners, tortured, abandoned for years, left to their fate. Many of them, when they get out of prison, aren't even able to recognize their own children. Today's Military Strategies features intense videos for you. The Chavista dictatorship, the dictatorship of Maduro, Chavez, and Delcy Rodriguez, only brings misery, poverty, and suffering to all the people. The people of Venezuela are trying to rise up, and also breaking news. A very serious incident in Cuba involving the ambassador of the United States of America. Family, your likes, your comments, let's get started. Good afternoon, good evening, family. Welcome to Military Strategies, February 1st, 2026. 2 days away from a month since the liberation of Venezuela from the tyranny of Nicolás Maduro. 30 days have practically passed. If we were to be exact and rigorous, who would have imagined that a month ago, just as the year began, we would see what we saw? The liberation of Venezuela, the liberation from tyranny? And how have things changed just today? In addition, the Embassy of the United States of America was reopened, with the ambassador in charge to give instructions. Direct instructions to the puppet, to Delcy Rodriguez. Which one? Today we've learned new things that are terrible. Welcome, family, to your news information channel. Thank you so much for being live with us. I'm going to be honest about this. The videos we're going to see today are very, very intense, but we have to show them. We have to talk about the families. It's been a while since we've talked about Venezuela, forgive me. It's not because I have other interests, it's simply because right now a lot of things are happening in the world. But for me, since I got involved with the Venezuelan cause not too long ago, honestly, it has really touched my heart to see what I've seen and to learn what I've learned. Yesterday, we already hinted at it during our program's Insight segment, that there was some kind of amnesty for all political prisoners in which supposedly everyone will be released, everyone who is still alive. Because I have my doubts about whether everyone will make it out of this alive. Delcy Rodriguez Cilindrina to her friends is the conductor of a place called Helicoide. We did a show weeks ago, actually last year, I think, about Helicoide, the most sinister place where Alexander Granco Arteaga dedicated himself to torturing human beings. We discussed international human rights complaints. The NGOs didn't care much about this. Only some relatives who reported the forced disappearance of their family members in that place. A place that was built to be a shopping and leisure center, which became a place of terror and torture for the Venezuelan people. Now Dursey announces that he is going to shut it down. They're closing it to make a recreation and relaxation spot for police officers' families, I think. During these days, we've been seeing important statements from different released people, those who talked about videos that had been recorded. We've been seeing images of family members holding vigils at the doors of the detention centers. Jare Rodeo, Helicoide, Aragua, Cocorón. And the truth is that we have to say it, of course. Meanwhile, Nicolás Maduro is in a prison where there are human rights. New York, where he has food, where no one is torturing him. He is detained, deprived of freedom, but no one is torturing him. There are still people in Venezuela who are being tortured. With approval from some European Union countries, including Spain, in which Rodriguez Zapatero himself, that's why he appears in the cover photo, with Delcy Rodriguez. He would walk around some prisons to visit political prisoners, and instead of telling Delcy to release them, he told them to keep quiet, to shut their mouths so they couldn't report anything. The torture they endured. In today's show, we're going to talk about everything in detail. We're not going to hold back. Never do we really hold back, even at the risk of censorship. But here we have to tell things as they are, no matter the consequences. It's one of the things that identifies this channel, that identifies this community. No fear, dignity, always. A very powerful video was published just a few minutes ago. When I saw it, I was in shock. I mean it. I was completely in shock when I saw how Oscar Castañeda, a political prisoner held since April 27, 2024, he wasn't able to recognize his children. Thank you. I repeat, a father was not able to recognize his children because he had been tortured in Venezuela. But also, while the United States Embassy is being opened in Venezuela, something else very important is happening as well. A serious incident in Cuba involving the United States ambassador. We have video. We're going to watch it now and talk a bit about everything, about what's happening. About the partners of the Venezuelan dictatorship who want to replace Spaniards with others, because it seems that being white, Spanish, of Spanish origin from a Spanish family is a problem. We are a plague. We have to be eradicated, swept away, they've told us, as if we were trash. We need to discuss these topics. Welcome to Military Strategies, and thank you for joining us live. It's not the kind of show I enjoy. Honestly, I don't like talking about torture and all these things, but it has to be done. So let's get started. Family, please. Your likes and your comments are super important. Let's check it out. For years, people have talked about it. This guy's probably about to die. Let's hope so. For years, people have talked about this place. Helicoide. Helicoide. It was supposed to be like the future of Latin America in terms of commerce. Businesses, stores, entertainment centers, cinema, recreation, and expansion for the people of Venezuela. It started being built during the Golden Age. That was the intention. No one imagined that what was going to be a shopping mall would turn into a torture prison. There, for years, thousands of people were tortured. Some died there, others were executed, and others, if they were lucky, were able to be released. But none of them will ever be able to forget it. The Helicoide director, Nancy Rodriguez, along with her family, Diosdado Cabello, and some others in charge of the repressive apparatus of the Venezuelan regime. Helicoide, the darkest place in the city of Caracas, exposed tremendous. What has happened there? Well, you have to watch the video. I'm not going to beat around the bush. This is what happened. When I insist a human being is set free.
Oscar Castañeda.
Float vote. The island of Hua, junior teachers in. Please pay attention. I want your comments in the chat. If you're watching the replay, I want your comments. We have gone too far. Humanity has fallen too low. They must pay.
Thank you, my love. What is your opinion about today? It's me, your daughter, Daddy. It's me, your daughter, Daddy. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Look at me, Daddy.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, Daddy, look, 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 oh my God. Mine. There are no thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Es tremendo, ¿eh?
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Hija.
And the father doesn't recognize him. Thanks, he doesn't know his daughter. These images are tremendous. The man is completely broken psychologically. Physically, he's not well. Physically, he's not well. He's broken. He's broken. No, there's nothing more to say. Look at him. How can he walk? He needs help. He's a big man. He must have physical injuries. They don't allow him to walk properly psychologically. His motor system is confused, lost look in his eyes, unsure what's happening. This is not an act. A man who hasn't seen his family for so long, it's impossible for him to put on an act. Faced with something as terrible as what we're seeing, this is one case. It's not the only one. We watched this channel for a very long time, and we watched it through satellite images, along with video geolocations. How the regime had built torture chambers where they kept prisoners on 2 floors in 2-story buildings, some underground and others above, separated from each other with bars, so that those above would relieve themselves on top of those below. We have seen this. We have seen it. We have seen how there were places where at no time did anyone appear in the satellite images. In the yard of the Yare Rodeo, Yare 2 centers. We have seen terrible images,
Terribles.
terrible testimonies from people who have been kidnapped. The regime, at the request of its European partners, told them to record videos of the detainees walking freely in the prison yards to calm what was a scandal.
What are they spreading now? They're fake videos. I mean, these videos were staged.
This is Camilo Castro speaking, a former French political prisoner in Venezuela, and he's talking about the videos released by the regime in which the prisoners are seen walking.
Many months ago, shortly after, in quotes, his arrival, the months after his arrival with other comrades. What we see there, that yard, those images that you are showing now are images of the big yard that we have had access to. But after a year, in Agustin's case, we have had access to that yard once a week, but that was almost after a year of detention. In Agustin's case, these videos that you see, Agustin is there filmed as if that were his yard, a big space with light. But that's not the case. They didn't have access to a yard, and they started to have access to a yard after many months. Pero un patio de 8 metros sobre 12. Es decir, una celda más grande, donde éramos 40 personas. Y este video, thank you.
40 people in a cell in the conditions of Venezuela.
Justina was made to told walk from here to here. And they spent hours doing that. Just like that, hours went by.
Hours doing this, recording videos, to justify themselves to the human rights organizations that have forgotten about Venezuelans. The same organizations that later go to El Salvador to see Nayib Bukele, and they tell him that those in Seco don't have beds, that they're not eating enough chicken, or that they can't see their girlfriends. Thanks to the same organizations, the ones that have never run international campaigns or forced the United Nations into a military intervention to free all these people, they're all guilty.
Filming him eating and making false statements, and that's the system in Venezuela. These videos are fake. Emmanuel Gallo never walked, quote unquote, freely in such a big field. Los videos que están...
Tremendo. Tremendo. Zapatero.
Zapatero, the one who is now under investigation for taking money through front men, is being investigated. He used to visit Venezuela happily, shaking hands with Delcy and everyone else. He traveled weekly from the Dominican Republic to Venezuela.
No.
He switched planes to avoid leaving a trace. He walked around with Nicolas Maduro. It's the same people who are saying today that we have to replace Spaniards with others. It's the same people, these people who have been photographed with him, who have been with them, who have sat down with them face to face, who were smiling, while there were people rotting inside prisons. They deserve investigation, and if justice requires conviction, I'm surprised.
Me sorprende
that no one has been able to.
un segundo. Un segundo. Vamos a ver.
Let's see if you can hear us now, family. I think we're back. This always happens. These things always happen when we start talking about these things. It gets cut off. It always gets cut off. It's always a coincidence. It gets cut off. It's okay, please. If it gets cut off, reconnect. Are you talking about the Epstein list, the emails that are now being declassified, where a lot of people are showing up? Not only are there people from American politics, but there are also people from Venezuela. Vacation with Jeffrey Epstein from Francisco de Agostinho. My idea for me is that you meet with Valdo Sanso, financial advisor of Petróleos de Venezuela, Sociedad Anónima, also the brother-in-law of Rafael Ramírez, president of Petróleos de Venezuela, Sociedad Anónima Henry Ramos, leader of the opposition party, also brother-in-law Alejandro Betancourt, owner of Derwit and Associates. He is very interesting because he is only 34 years old and has $3 billion in contracts with Venezuela with the government. Quite an interesting guy. Eduardo Estegol, president and shareholder of Intercable. Osvaldo Cisneros, president and owner of Digitel. Probably one of the richest in Venezuela. I also think you should meet with Gracias, the director of BNC, the bank we want to buy, and maybe some other banker. Jorge Hernandez, one of Chavez's closest friends, General Alejandro Andrade, head of the Venezuelan Treasury Department and also a close friend of Chavez. Vez Shuchishen, representative of the Chinese government in Venezuela, in charge of bilateral agreements, date 2012. We don't know so much. There is a world that we are completely unaware of, which I always keep saying. Things happen that we can't even begin to imagine, but in the end, they come to light. Here you are seeing how connections are made with corrupt, torturing regimes at parties where young people are exploited. Since I'm not paid by any government, I can say whatever I want. And the email continued. Epstein says to him, "Can you give me more or less an idea for 1 night, 2 days, an itinerary for Caracas? That way I can move my people. I hope you have fun."
Esto se trata.
Some were in prison, their families waiting outside, and others were having the time of their lives.
Como estáis leyendo.
The issue of the families. I apologize to the people of Venezuela for not meeting expectations. I hadn't done this before, so I'm doing it now because it's necessary. A large solidarity support drive has been started for the families who are waiting outside the detention centers in Venezuela. I know this was yesterday, the 31st. I truly apologize. I've been super busy, and maybe starting tonight, you'll understand why I've been so busy, why I haven't been doing so many live streams. But anyone who wants to collaborate, I know that people from Venezuela are quite smart. There are good connections among the population. We need non-perishable food, water, canned goods, juices, coffee, sugar, flour, tuna, rice, cookies, personal hygiene items, insect repellent for mosquitoes and so on, toilet paper, Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Jabón en polvo.
Thank you, I mean. Pillows, sheets, blankets, adult clothes in good condition, poncho, umbrella, tarp, and tent. If anyone wants to help with this, I don't know them, not at all. I have nothing to do with it. But I think it's necessary for this channel, which is watched by millions of people, to support similar initiatives. I don't care if this is organized by Maria Corina or not. Maria Corina or whoever, I don't care. It really doesn't matter to me. I always say it. I don't care about that. I'm where I think there are good actions and where they can help. They should contact the group that's handling this issue at the Central University of Venezuela, a group of students. I think it's that they were actually taking it to the public prosecutor's office today or in the last few hours. A letter to demand. To immediately demand the release of political prisoners. Let's listen to it here.
Thank you.
We're listening. Contact those who can help you to avoid these problems.
Please, the link, but only 2 can enter. No, 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 no.
What we're seeing now was unimaginable just a month ago.
Thank you.
This document describes a situation that is extremely delicate and of vital importance for the country. It's not about hiding the daily correspondence expected here. And what we hope is that this reaches the Attorney General's office, that he reads it and actually addresses the resolution, what the document describes, which is nothing more than the irregular situation suffered by political prisoners and the families of the prisoners. Because of the lack of information, the lack of clear processes, and the lack of compliance with a word and an order given since January 8th to the entire Venezuelan justice system.
That's it. A month ago, this was unthinkable, but now we have documents. Documents. I don't know who this guy is. I'm going to play his video. I don't know who he is. He's talking about Alines Araujo Lozada, sorry about the names, and that her mother, Fanny Lozada, is going to tell the story. What happened to Alines? She was tortured as part of a strategy to try to catch her. Officials filmed it and sent the video to the mother. You have to see this. It's terrible, I insist. Everyone knew this. Everyone knew this.
Thursday, January 29th. I'm still in Zone 7 receiving stories about Venezuelan political prisoners. I'm with Mrs. Fanny Lozada, who will discuss her daughter and not just her detention. What makes this case so emblematic? Thank you for sharing your story with us. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm Fanny Lozada, Aliani Araujo's mother. She is being accused of the August 3rd incident, which was the placement of a bomb in Plaza Venezuela.
They accused those girls of bombing Plaza Venezuela.
This happened earlier. I didn't know about it until August 4th when they came to my house at 10 at night. The 6th City Police Command from Ordaneta entered my house without a warrant and took me into custody. There were 38 units and 2 tanks.
Sir Contreras is the journalist and reporter.
And a van just to take me out alone.
Why do they link her to this case? What connection does she have to it?
Honestly, I don't know because no one has given me any information about her or where she is. This happened in August. On August 11, they caught her in Araya on the eastern coast. They imprisoned me in El Rodeo with my 15-year-old grandson and my daughter.
A 15-year-old boy detained in El Rodeo.
Thanks to your whole family, they were all detained. Who exactly?
All the members of his family were detained.
my grandchildren, her 3 children who are minors, my brother who is Christian.
3 children who are minors?
Well, my other daughter, my other son, my 15-year-old grandson was with me at the rodeo. They hurt him, they hanged him, they electrocuted him, they grabbed his head.
They electrocuted him. To a 15-year-old kid, they covered his head with a bag.
They hit him in the ribs. You witnessed all of that?
All of that?
Right, that happened to him in the men's area. Where we women were, they didn't hit us or anything, but at the 6th City Police Command, they hit me on the head.
They hit this lady on the head.
The officials, what did they say and specifically accuse you of?
The crimes we didn't mention. Where was my daughter? We didn't know.
The pressure was to make you talk.
Exactly. She turned herself in because supposedly she received a video where they had her son hanging and beating him.
This girl turned herself in. I mean, they kidnapped her son. They tortured her son and sent a video demanding she come or they'd kill him.
How old are the boys?
The boy imprisoned with me at El Rodeo was 15, turning 16 on August 29.
Have you reported these human rights violations to any organizations?
I went to the 4th prosecutor's office in Santa Teresa del Tuy, and the lady told me that she couldn't take my case. Why?
Of course no one can take the case.
Of course.
It's obvious why.
Did he say why now?
What stage is the case file or case at? Has there been a hearing?
I haven't had a hearing, a trial, or a case file. I have no information about my daughter who's been missing for 6 months.
Have they allowed you legal representation?
Nothing.
And they appear in the prosecutor's office systems?
They haven't given me any information.
So what are you demanding? What are you asking for?
I want to know about her. I need to know about my daughter, to be given proof that my daughter is alive because they took her alive. Okay, my whole family over there in the east was also arrested and detained because that's where they ended up. Them. They fought over her like a trophy, but I don't know what kind. Implicating her in this incident, like many families unaware of their detained children, shows others are also affected.
Who's behind all of this? That's all. Well, the one who's behind all of this. We've already talked about him. Gran Corteado. Gran Corteado. He's the monster behind all this. Gran Corteaga posted the goodbye videos on social media, where he directed all the operations against the dissidents. There we see him. Great Corteaga, who has family businesses in the United States of America. I'm still surprised that the United States hasn't gotten involved in this matter. Great Corteaga. No one has stopped him yet. He's still out there. Gran Corteaga with Diosdado Cabello. Are they refusing to release everyone? They don't seem very sure about it. Meanwhile, the families are looking for their relatives.
We are not the youth.
Go out.
Go out, go out, go out, go out so we can beat you up. We are the youth.
How brave Gran Corteaga is. With women, 15-year-old kids, defenseless people, he's so brave. They gave him a scholarship to study in China, how to torture people. I go up there being trained. You're brave, Arteaga. Bye, very brave one. I hope we can talk someday. I hope. Thank you. And let's see if you still feel like torturing more people. It's terrible. They are monsters.
Walking through Plaza de los Palos Grandes reminds me of the beautiful event held here while I was in prison, which I later saw in photos. My children, my family, my friends, and every time I walk through these places, I think about what I used to think when I was in prison and they told me they were fighting for my freedom. Today I was at the Palos Grandes market talking to people, convincing them to vote, explaining why I'm here and I am here. I won't let those who want to kidnap and destroy our country have a clear path. I have to step in and I will.
It's incredible. There are many cases. This is great. Well, not just great, it's interesting. There are cases where the whereabouts of the relatives are unknown.
Come down, man.
Breaking news. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to Cuba, the headquarters, the main base of the Chavista dictatorship. Canel Diaz-Canel. Donald Trump called Claudia Sheinbaum and said the oil tanker is heading to Cuba now. You can tell him to turn around or I'll sink it or I'll seize it or I'll keep it. Claudia Sheinbaum said, whatever you say, oil commander. They turned around and now they're out of oil. Just like that, they're out of oil. Diaz-Canel couldn't come up with a better idea than to send the Chow Horde to harass the ambassador of the United States of America in Cuba. Roll the video.
Down with the blockade.
Down with the blockade. Murderer, how can you keep it this way?
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Of course, Enochimita.
They call the ambassador a genocidal murderer. A genocidal murderer, the ambassador of the United States. Canel's situation is a matter of days. I wouldn't even dare to say months. The island is right now at the point where they're going to start making fire with sticks and glass. Cuba's situation is truly horrible. It's terrible. But there's another one who is also whitewashing the situation in the Helicoide. There are content creators who travel around the world, whitewashing these kinds of people, these kinds of actions. And one of them is Mikelo. We don't know if he has a disability, but I doubt it. I think he knows what he's doing. He has benefited at the expense of the Venezuelan people. Mikelo went for a walk around the Helicoide.
Mikelo, I'm going to ask for permission at the entrance. Let's see what happens. Hello, good afternoon.
How are you? Good afternoon, brother. I'm from Argentina.
I'm a good journalist. I wanted to know if I can come in.
Journalist?
How can I do it? Who can use it? With pleasure?
Yes, she has all the authority to make it known. Our commander, the police.
The Bolivarian, excuse me.
Come in, brother.
Hello, how are you? Hi, hello, how are you? Are we coming in here? They said I have to come by car, but I don't have one now.
Right, you don't have one. No shame, no car, nothing. But Mikelo went to sort things out at the Helicoide. He went over there.
All neat! We can see the National Police Force and this giant statue. The tricky part is ours, and in front there's a neighborhood. Do you see it there? Well, I'm told that this was initially going to be a shopping mall, but it seems there was a financial problem. It ended up abandoned.
And we decided to turn it into a torture chamber.
And this was built 60 years ago. This school, or this center as they call it, does have a lot of international publicity, especially
school
with international opposition, so there's an armored vehicle here at the entrance for a man to say that this is a place of torture. And well, everything, because there's a protest singer from the people here at the entrance. The man showed up, complained, and faced no consequences. He's alive. In Argentina, over 30,000 people disappeared, and now the fascist rulers deny it.
Tremendous. Tremendous. Content. Trash of the trash.
The one we have here?
Releases.
Damn, the cursed one.
Thanks, Suave.
Yes, I already saw my wife. I hope to see my 4 kids in Táchira. We shared the captive space. Suave. They stay there?
Javier Tarazona, human rights defender, says many remain.
There are still many left.
Imprisoned since 2021.
I believe that another's freedom, everyone's hope, and the truth don't make me free. Venezuela needs to reconcile, certainly, and we have to work for that so that those who today suffer from delayed legal proceedings, those who today are serving their sentences, comrades who were with us, comrades who have served their sentences, they remain detained. Their release order hasn't come. People who are over 70 years old and who are
people over 70 years old in prison.
In captivity without trial. I believe we have to work for those who are suffering, for those 8 million Venezuelans who are abroad and long to return. For those mothers who are waiting for their children today, for those children who are waiting for their parents, for those fathers who are waiting for their children. I believe that's where it is, brother.
Many grandparents in prison, people in their 70s, incredible grandmothers.
But I think that's what we have to work on. We come from a very dark place. To bring light, to find each other. We are one. That's the way. Brother, I'm really glad to find you at this moment in this place of joy, of prayer. And well, brother, may the truth set us free.
I read a book you often recommend about Venezuela's intolerance over the past 100 years. That intolerance led us here, right?
Yes to reconciliation, but working on reconciliation means recognizing each other. It means respecting each other. It even means understanding that politics cannot be about targeting the other, eliminating the other, or silencing the other. We have to overcome that culture, and that's the way forward. That's the path.
That's the path. Not staying silent, not remaining quiet in the face of something as harsh as this. By the way, we still don't know where he is. Guanipa still hasn't been released. Either they won't release him or something else is happening. We're following another release from just a few minutes ago. Here we have the photo. Another release today was Rodrigo Antonio Perez Mejias, now released, was able to see again. Go home, also confirmed at the last minute. Another release. We're continuing. Many releases today. Blanca Guerrero and Jose Castellanos, mother and brother of journalist Omario Castellano, detained since October 2025. It seems that the usual technique and bold hair, great style in all these people is, if they can't find you, they detain your mother, they detain a family member until you decide to turn yourself in. Besides being torturers, they're cowards. But well, everything in its own time. In the end, justice sometimes comes late, unfortunately late, but better late than never. And in Havana, things are already starting to get complicated for Canel. They sometimes start this way, but end differently. People are already writing graffiti on the streets and hanging emblems. That Maduro has fallen and soon Canel will fall. Thank you. Maduro has fallen. Canel will fall soon. What a shame, Havana. What a shame, Cuba.
Cuba.
With all the tourism potential that country has, with how good the Cuban people are, they had to leave their country. But one of the most important photos in this whole story, one that really hurts the regime, all the propagandists, this one. The United States ambassador's arrival in Venezuela. Diosdado said no way. Delcy said it too. And Maduro is in the United States. Now there's a United States embassy in Venezuela. Get ready. Get ready. The people of Venezuela are already starting to lose their fear. Once they lose their fear, they'll take to the streets. And this is not going to please, it's not going to please the regime. Let's see how much they're able to endure. That the chains are breaking. Maria Corina shared this photo. Down with the chains. Venezuela is moving. Everything is moving. And thanks to whom? To Donald Trump, who got rid of Maduro, and to a month ago. It was amazing when everyone said nothing was going to happen. This is just smoke. Nothing will happen. It happened on that fateful night, the darkest night for Chavismo, the brightest night for democracy. A historic moment of that night.
We fell. Look at that shit. They exploded over there. All that strong shit that's not exploding. Damn, his hair's on fire.
And that shit, hey.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Damn, we made it home on time. Hey, I heard. Damn, look at that shit.
These are the worst images. The worst images. I'm telling you, these guys will be haunted for life. Watching how the drones and missiles from the United States were falling. And they couldn't do anything. That same night, Delcy Rodriguez, Godfather Diosdado, received a call, probably a group call, and they were given the same message. Do you surrender, or will the next drones that fall be on you? They took Maduro away because obviously Donald Trump wanted to have him very close, but the rest are expendable. Padrino Rodriguez, all of them can fall at any moment. All of them. If they don't obey the orders of the United States of America. It's clear this hurts them. It destroys them. But really, the story we're seeing has only just begun. There's still a lot to do. There's still history to be made. And now what we also have to think about is that Cuba needs to be freed from the dictatorship. Coming up.
Se va a quedar para siempre.
Elmero accompanied me with determination to expose the dictatorship, but they won't stay forever. Donald Trump has said it. Whoever wants to buy oil has to talk to us. China and Russia will only get oil through the United States and must pay, and Cuba will only receive oil if they pay. That's over. We'll see if we can get the whole package. Democracy, elections, freedom, and a prosperous future for all those Latin American nations. Nicaragua, Cuba, Colombia, Venezuela. The process has begun. Chile, Argentina, El Salvador, Honduras. They are already forming the bloc of freedom, which will restore what was lost. To the great American continent, the greatness lost for years because of dictatorships and dictators. Family, thank you so much for being live with us. We'll see you later. We have an amazing program about Iran, plus a bonus today here on military strategies. There's a surprise tonight. Tonight we have a surprise on the channel. And you'll see that it's not just about making content on the internet. We also have to do other things that are important to help people who need it. Tonight on Military Strategies. Don't miss it. A surprise for the whole community. See you in the next show. Take care.